Alright, what's going on? Trades here. I'm just going to be going over this trade from yesterday, Globex, July 5th. I hit this winner on micro gold futures. It was 2R trade using the orb strategy with a combination of edgeful data. And I just want to show you guys how I caught this and how you can too with edgeful data. So first thing I'm going to go to is replay mode and just go through this session one more time for you guys. I'm gonna head over to the 1 minute chart and I'm gonna stay on replay mode here as we go through this play. I'm gonna remove all this as we do not need to see it because we can redraw it all out. So the opening range breakout is the first 15 minutes of market open or a session open, and specifically here we're trading the Globex open or the Asia open, which would be 5 o'clock p.m. CST, Chicago time. And we're looking at that first 15-minute range buildup and the stats that go along with it to trade it. So I'm just gonna go through it here now, just to explain it a little more, so I don't have to while I'm walking through it. So here you could see 5 p.m. market opens on Sunday, and this is, you don't want to trade the open. We're waiting here for anything to form. We just want our range to form. And the first thing we can see here is that the orb high actually formed last at market open. So we're going to mark that out, top right, orb high. And then we also see the orb low down here, the candle after 5 o'clock, 5:02, marked most recently, made most recently the orb low here. We're going to mark that out as well. And we use this as our orb range, and we're going to wait till 5:15 p.m. see if those get break in to increase the range or not. So we're going to keep playing through the chart here, right? You can see price trailing up to the orb high and then back down, but still those levels are holding pretty well. So we're going to go into a higher time frame chart here and see if we can find any type of, there we go. We found a discrepancy in price, which is a gap in price and FEG that we're going to mark out on the M5. And this is what we're going to be looking for price to retrace back into, and then ideally go up and take our orb high. We'll go into the stats in a little bit here, but we're going to mark out that FEG for now and hop back on the 1 minute chart. Still not 5:15 yet. We're waiting on that 5:15 open. We are going to, the orb range is fully formed almost here with the 5 o'clock to 5:14. We're going to mark out the orb high to orb low with a standard deviation tool, marking out some levels here: orb high, orb low, 50%, 25%, 75%, and then some extension levels as well. Anything below 50% here will be allowed as an entry because it is a discount. So if we look here, anything in this red box will be good as our entry, and that M5 FEG is in our entry range. Went on to the higher time frame then as well. We're going to look for any draws on liquidity here. We have sell side liquidity down here, and we have buy side liquidity up here. So we're going to mark those out just on our charts like that. Okay. Now we're going to go back onto the lower time frame. And this is where we have Edgefill come into play. So we go into Edgefill and we're going to go to the report section here. I'll reload it for you guys. We're going to go to the get started report section here. Change the report to opening range breakout orb. We're going to change the sub report to buy rejection. We're going to go to the customize and we're going to use weekday Monday, as this was Sunday open, so we're using the day after Monday. Then we're going to change the ticker to what we're using. So we're on MNQ, or I'm sorry, we're on MGC here. Change that ticker to MGC. And then we're also going to change this session to the daily session here, 6 p.m. to 5 p.m. Once these stats load up, we can see what we are looking for now. As you can see, when the 15-minute orb low is formed first, there's an 80% chance we first break that orb high. So this orb low was formed first, this orb high was formed last. So there's an 80% chance that we take this orb high. So we're going to change this to 80% chance. We take this high. And that's the probabilities you are looking for on an entry. So we're going to set our long position limit in our M5 FEG discount range. We're going to put our stop loss below the orb low. We're going to put the take profit at the orb high. And then also we can use these extension levels from the fib. 1.5 is my favorite, and liquidity levels. So as you can see, the previous day's highs are right there as take profits number 2. So we're going to use this 80% high as TP1, and then we're going to use this full extension as TP2. Alright, so now we set our buy limit here. We set our stop loss there, and we set our take profit here. You would change the order quantity to how much the risk on your account is. So if we have a 50K account and we want to risk $500, we're going to set it there at 7 contracts, 7 contracts. We're going to put the buy limit, and we're going to let this play out here. Do 3 updates per 1 second. So you can see the entry got tapped perfectly, the M5FG in discount. Our TP1 is hit there. So obviously you can scale out some at TP1 at that 80% chance. And then there our edge full data is already filled. So everything that we used here was there to gather that 1.42 RN contracts. And then we have our extension contracts running up to that TP2 daily high liquidity level and the fib levels. So let's let this play out, see what happens here. Price pulls back into the orb range, but then actually breaks out of this orb range. And in a second here, as you can see, it's slow. That's why we did take our first TP. Breaks out to that orb high. And that is our full TP. We are out of the position. As you can see, price will break back into that orb range, but we are out at that extension level and the liquidity level. So that is 2.5R bagged up, 1,000 P&L, risking $500 there. So that was the trade with Edgeful MGC July 5th. Hope you guys enjoyed.